Today, I'm going to share with you the secret that marketing agencies don't want you to know, and that is how to fix a broken marketing campaign. Let's get into it. Well, hey there. My name is Bryce Conlon. I'm one of the co-founders of Dance Motion Marketing, and we are a marketing agency that works exclusively with dance studios to bring in new, fresh, prospective student leads to your studio, right? We all know that new students are the lifeblood of any business. You start running out of new students, you're going to run out of current students, and then you're out of business, right? So that's what we do. However, unlike most marketing agencies, our highest value as a company is honesty. We always aim to educate and work with our partners to make them smarter so that they can make better decisions and run better businesses. That's just part of what's important to us, and it's how we choose to do business. And in that spirit, we are always trying to educate our clients. Now, today, I want to show you exactly the process that we use to fix broken marketing. The bottom line is marketing is hard, and it doesn't matter what platform you're on, whether it's Google or Facebook or YouTube or Instagram or TikTok. It doesn't matter where it is or whatever comes next. It doesn't matter where you're marketing. It's going to be a challenge. Why? Because the world is hyper connected now. It's not like it used to be where you could put an ad in your local newspaper and just the people in your community saw it. Now the world is integrated. And so you've got folks from your community who are engaging with content that is being created all over the country, if not on the other side of the world. What that means is that attention is being divided. It's getting harder and harder and harder to get your message in front of the right people. For example, Facebook alone has over 100,000 different metrics that they use to figure out who they're going to put your ad in front of. That's a lot of touch points, and every single one of them plays into the cumulative impact of how an ad campaign does, right? So we have, if we break it down into its simplest parts, we have the ad that goes to a landing page or some spot on your website where people can say yes to you, and then to the actual opt-in. All of these things can break. All of these things can go wrong and misfire and not work. And so as a marketing agency, our media buyers, those are the people who actually day to day are in the campaigns, looking at the numbers, trying to figure out how to pull the levers on these 100,000 plus levers to make campaigns work. And so I want to give you today the secret sauce, the inner workings that no other agency wants you to know of exactly how to fix a broken marketing campaign. I hope this is exciting, because this is really big news. And depending upon how you use this, this could really turn into something spectacular for you. All right, so let's actually get into it. Here we go. How to fix a broken campaign. There are 6 steps to fixing a broken campaign. We want to, rather than reinvent the wheel, right, and try to figure out what, figure out what to do, we use a systematic process to start with the smallest changes we can make that lead to the greatest impact. And if we're able to fix our changes at the micro level, right, and get the results that we want, then we stop there. If we don't get the results that we're looking for after making changes at the first level, then we escalate up, and as we escalate up, the work and the detail and the amount of effort and the time it takes to implement that change goes up as well. So we always want to start with the smallest possible change. What's the smallest thing that we can do to create an acceptable impact? All right. So where do we begin? Well, first we have to understand, and this is critical, that when you start marketing, your very first campaign, or even campaigns, the first couple, are a lot like standing in a dark room with a blindfold around your eyes, handed a dart, spun around like you would be if you were going to hit a piñata, and then asked to hit the bullseye. That's step number 1. So obviously, when we're stepping into this space, it is a best guess. We use all of the resources at our disposal to try to figure out what's going to work for your audience in your area based on your studio, right? So step number one really is a best guess. Now, as an exclusively focused dance studio business, like again, we don't work with dentists, we don't work with chiropractors, we only work with dance studios. We have kind of an added advantage that our best guess is better than most people's best guess because we're pulling from data sets from studios all across the country when we're jumping into this. So we generally already have an idea of what has worked for others, but still that's no guarantee that it'll work for you. All right, so we put our best guess offer out there. It goes live. We're not getting the traction that we're hoping for. What do we do next? What do we change? Because we got to change something, otherwise we're wasting money. So the first thing that we do is we change the creative. The creative on an ad is the photo, the video, the text that kind of goes along with it. Maybe what you use just isn't connecting with your audience. One very interesting example that we've seen recently is studios in areas that are predominantly Black and African American will sometimes, because the studio owner may be Caucasian, use photos of white individuals. This is not in their pictures, in their videos. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong or racist about this, but it is a blind spot where we kind of go, wait a minute. The photo looks like you, studio owner, but it doesn't look like your customer. So let's just swap out, for example, the photos. Let's see if that changes things. This is the lowest change, smallest change we can make to create an impact. Now, of course, you can go down the rabbit hole on all of these. For example, we could try, one thing that we will often try is if a static photo image isn't converting, we might convert that into a video asset. So now there's a video on the screen in the ad instead of just a photo. Why do we do that? Well, because video is moving and our eyes are tuned, and we know this biologically, our eyes are tuned to see movement. So video might help. Video might, that might be the thing. It requires a little more effort. We have to go and get that video because, again, we don't recommend using stock images. We're all about honesty in advertising. And so our best recommendation is we ask our studio owners to go and shoot some video. We take that, our creative team will cut that together and we'll swap that out. Maybe the video works better. Maybe we have to recut the video a couple of times because it didn't work the first time, but let's try it again with a different skin on it. So we can go really, really deep down each one of these. But step number one, and this is our easiest, fastest way to a win, change the creative. What happens if you change the creative and it still isn't working for you? Well, now we're going to change the body copy and the hook. This is the language that we're using in the ad itself. The hook is in that, it's the first thing that you're seeing in the body paragraph. What are we saying? And then what are we saying below it? Every piece of information you put in that body copy counts, matters a lot. And if you don't swap that out or try at least something different after you've tried your creative, and now let's try the body copy, and you'd be amazed at the tiny, seemingly insignificant changes, things that you and I would look at and go, that's not going to make any difference at all. But it does, because again, we're working in a space that is kind of the confluence, the mixing of people, logical beings, but also emotionally rational beings, and technology, computers. And so what we're doing is we're working in this very odd cross-section where changing just one line of text in your body copy might cause Facebook or YouTube or Google's algorithm to pick up your content differently and put it in front of a different audience that will resonate with it. You have no idea what's going to work. This is a systematic process of trial and error. Getting smarter with each new step, learning a little bit more, and then making the necessary adjustments. All right, so you changed the creative, didn't work, didn't help. Changed the body copy and the hook, that didn't help. Now we need to change the headline. This is, in the offer wrapper, this is how we are presenting your offer to the world. So let's say in your studio, you're running a free trial. Right? Actually, I'm going to give you an even better example. And this is a true example is when summer rolls around. Summer is the Achilles heel of literally every studio we have ever met. It's this like ambiguous time of like, what on earth are we supposed to do with this? We can't run our regular classes because too many people are out. They're on vacation. They're not showing up. But the summer programming is an awful lot of work and it doesn't actually make us any money. And we're hoping that maybe we'll bring people back in the fall, but data shows that doesn't usually pan out the way we're hoping for. So what is the plan? Like, what do we do with, for example, summer? Well, we get the request all the time. Will you run ads for my summer camp, my summer program? We did this once. We said yes, one summer, and we have never done it again because it's too hard and it doesn't really work. Well, why doesn't it work? It doesn't matter what you say in your headline. It's not going to stand out. So for example, summertime, everybody has summer camp. So literally, it doesn't matter if it's equestrian camp or archery camp or Boy Scout camp or whatever camp. It's literally, everybody says, sign your kid up for summer camp in the headline. Doesn't help. Well, how can we stand out differently? How can we say something different? So sign your kid up for summer camp isn't going to cut through the clutter. What can we say instead? What's a headline that we can use, the big part that goes right across the bottom of your ad that will maybe get their attention? Depending upon your offer, that can take a variety of different forms, but you got to test that. All right, what's next? So after that, now we're going to change the duration of the offer. So we started with making changes. You'll notice there's going to be a transition here. We started making changes to how we talk about the offer. And as we move down through this processes, now we begin to actually make changes to the offer itself. I mean, say it again, because that's really significant. And the first three really talk about how do we make changes to how we talk about our offer, right? This is the headline. This is the language. This is the image. This is the visuals, kind of how people might understand your offer. As we try more and more things, now we have to move into actually making changes to the offer itself. So duration of the offer is a big one. Let's say your ad is sign up now for 4 months of dance classes. That might be too long. Maybe it's not long enough. I don't really know. Neither do you. We have to figure it out. And so we do that by changing the offer. So if you're offering short classes, short sessions, one-day events, 1 week camps, maybe stretch it out. Try something longer. If you're offering long sessions, sign up from September to December, maybe that's too long. Try something a little shorter. You have to start tweaking the offer duration to see if that will make a change. Once we hit that level and if it does not make a difference, now we have to actually enhance the offer. This is the thing. What else can we add to it that will make it more enticing? So one of our studios, she gives tutus away. She has this it's a very cute class, honestly, for little girls, kind of ages 2 to 4. And she gives these tutus away. She acquires them for like pennies, right? It doesn't cost her hardly anything to do. And that's just a way. She says, hey, come in for my class. It's going to cost you a couple bucks, but here's what you get. And she was amazed, and we were amazed when she started doing this, that it worked, that it was like, oh, that was the thing that pushed it over the edge. I wouldn't have thought that at all. If you had said, Bryce, is this going to work? I'd be like, I don't think so, but it did. Literally, a tutu that costs just a few pennies was enough to get parents to say, oh my gosh, my daughter would look so cute in that. I'm absolutely going to do that. We have to now enhance the offer. Lots of ways to enhance the offer. Again, you can do it by what they get. You can add extra sessions. You can kind of get back into duration. You can give them something. You can, promote them in some way. There's lots of different ways to enhance your offer. And it's really going to depend heavily on what your offer is to begin with. How do you improve it? All right, last step. So what if we've done all of this so far? We've changed our creative. We've updated the body copy. We've changed our headline. That hasn't worked. We've looked at the duration of our offer. That hasn't worked. We have enhanced the offer in all the ways that we can think of. That hasn't worked. What do we do now? Well, last step, and this is the most dramatic, is change the offer. Is actually to change the offer itself. Sometimes offers just don't work. And the reality is that if you have great marketing that is driving to a not so great offer, it's never going to resonate. It just won't, is the bottom line. So if the thing that you are offering you think is incredibly valuable, but the market says no, it's not, time to pivot. Time to change your offer. There's nothing that we can do for you. There's nothing that anybody can do for you except to recommend that you make that change. Changing an offer, can create an incredible impact in your business, right? It takes your funnel that is like struggling. It takes your studio that is having a really hard time, and it will set you on the path to growth, financial freedom, whatever your goals are, having more time, more cash so you can hire more people and buy back some of your own time as the studio owner. You have to get the offer right though. And the only way to do that is to test. So we create a new offer and then swap it out and then go through this process again. Now, it feels like a lot of work. And I get that it probably does. And genuinely, I'm empathetic to studio owners who are like, oh my gosh, this is a lot. Well, yes, it is a lot. We know that. It is a lot, and I'm aware of that, but this is the process of marketing. Now, we always tell people that you're only one funnel away from, or one really ad campaign away from having $1 million year, and it's true. So in this process, right now, I'm going to be really transparent. Right now, we are working with eight studios across the country in this capacity, which is really been very satisfying to see the results. But not everybody is feeling the big wins. Some are absolutely crushing it. They're off the charts. Some aren't, right? And so we're in this process with the ones that aren't quite where we need them to be, where they want to be. And we're going through this process right now. So we've got, for example, one studio that is on track. We literally had to shut her ads off because she was getting so many new leads that she couldn't get to them in time. Her staff was overloaded. She was overwhelmed. She was just drowning in this sea of new prospective students. We had to turn her off. We've got another studio that is just kind of struggling right now, like just not seeing the traffic that we're hoping to see. And right now we are coming up on the offer stage. We need to okay, let's look at the offer. 2 studios, 2 different offers. One of them is on track to have a phenomenal year. One of them, we're in this process. We're working through. Now, again, I said at the beginning, this is what no marketing agency wants you to know, because everybody who comes to you and tries to sell you marketing services is going to tell you that if you just sign up with them, it's going to be amazing and it's going to work. And that is a load of BS. It doesn't work. We don't know. All we can do is understand how the technology works, the algorithms, and then test rigorously and relentlessly through the process that I've just shown you to get the results. If you have a true partner who's working with you on your marketing, they're going to be honest about this, and they're going to tell you exactly where you are in this process. Hey, your ads haven't worked. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to swap out your body copy. Hey, we're still not seeing traction. Look, we're going to need to take the next step. Hey, listen, we've tried literally everything. Let's look at the offer itself. We need to change your offer. Your free trial isn't working. Your paid trial isn't working. Your full-blown service campaign isn't working. We need to change the offer itself. If you're working with someone who really is invested in you, that's the kind of conversations that you're going to have. And I hope that you do have someone who's working with you, because remember, you are only one ad away, literally one ad campaign away from having $1 million year. All right, that's all I got. Hopefully this is helpful. I would love to hear your comments below, because this is some wild stuff. And if you've never heard this before, I would love to hear what it's like to hear it for the first time. That's it for now.